And I guess to kind of kick things off, we should throw to our first athlete interview. We have Rachael Drake in studio with us. Hey, Rachel.
Hey friends, how's it going?
Oh, we're good. How's it going with you?
Slowly coming back to life.
Yeah.
Yeah, I sat on the ground for, I don't know, like 10 minutes after the race and just like shared snacks with Lou out there. But you got up and went for a cool down jog. So the body must be feeling okay.
Yeah, I'm doing all right. Lou definitely has a lot of snacks, so that's helpful.
Yeah. Well, you're in the middle of residency right now. You guys have moved to Salt Lake City. We saw you at Western States. We got to, watch you shred Alta as a snowboarder at the Cirque Series
Heck
race
yeah.
recently. So we knew that you were coming back, but talk about making the decision to come out to Mammoth.
I love the Golden Trail series, and a lot of my friends live in Mammoth. We stayed with Katie Asmuth, and it was just a fun weekend, getting to see you guys. My husband Tyler went for a run with Rod. I think just wanting to be in the community after working long hours in the hospital was a really big draw. And I did feel like I had some decent training sessions, so I kind of was curious to see where that put me. So I'm glad I came.
When did you make the decision to run this race?
I actually signed up for both this one and Headlands quite a while ago.
Okay.
And wasn't able to get the time off for Headlands. And then randomly at the last minute, I did get some time off. So ended up going to Run Rabbit Run with Tyler. But I had signed up for this quite a while ago and just like knew that I would be on my ambulatory clinic rotation and that I would have the weekend off. So
Nice.
yeah, I had it kind of as a North Star on my calendar. Yeah.
But at the same time, we know that you have to be in clinic tomorrow morning.
I actually have the morning off.
Oh,
Oh.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
God bless.
afternoon. Tyler's like, we're never going to get out of here. We got to start driving home. But I just want to keep hanging out with you guys.
Yeah.
well, we'll eventually let you go. But I guess, something that I find interesting before we talk about your race today, because it was very intense and very cool to witness. But you've had a season where you stepped up in distance in a really big way, 100K, 100-mile debut, and now back down to the stuff that we have, I think, grown to know as your bread and butter, being a regular on the Golden Trail World Series. How's it feel to be back on the series given the experience at Western States?
Really good. I think, I was kind of curious to see whether I would still be able to hang because, I had Lewis 2 years ago and then I had a stress fracture and I raced Dolomites and Sierra Zinal, but I was nowhere near the fitness where I would want to be for those kinds of races. So I'm just really happy to be able to like stick my nose in there and actually compete. And just see people who I've known for, 5+ years, like friends from all over the world who are here in the United States. It's just really, really special. I was doing my warm-up jog yesterday and I ran into Judith Wider and she just like gave me this huge hug, and she has 2 little girls back home that I know she's missing. So we just kind of like bonded over that, and it's really sweet.
Yeah. I'm curious, going from a longer distance race to going back to a Golden Trail race, how does your mentality change in the middle of a race? Or are you like kind of thinking of those longer distance races the same, where you're like, I need to get out hard and I need to just try to hang on?
I think just stepping into this race, like actually Danny Moreno, she said, you kind of just have to redline or almost redline the entire time. And in my mind, I was thinking, okay, well, at least it's not 17.5 hours of
redlining.
running. Like
Yeah.
I can redline for 2.5 hours. So I think having the longer distances just puts things in context, and you're like, I can hurt for a long time. Like I know that about myself.
Yeah.
We'll see where that puts me.
It definitely didn't seem like you lost any leg speed going from training for these longer races and then coming back within a few months. So yeah, talk about a little bit the training in between Western States and showing up here.
Yeah, it's been very hit or miss. I feel bad. So my husband Tyler coaches me, and every single day it's like I'll come home and I'm like, I can do a workout today. What should I do? Or I'll come home, 2 hours later than anticipated, and I'm like, I can't run at all today. So it's been very hit or miss. But I've had a couple good flat sessions, a couple good trail sessions. Living in Salt Lake City, we just have access to a lot of great vert and more trails than even we did back in Oregon. So that's been a huge asset, I think, to not have to drive too far to get to some good training grounds.
Nice. I think, okay, so I was everywhere on course today.
Yes, you were. I can attest.
which
I
was-
was like, how are you here? How are you here?
It's magic. If I can't be in studio watching the whole thing, I've got to be everywhere on course. So you had an epic battle out there. And we
Yeah.
will have Anna in studio. I think she's currently in anti-doping, but you had an epic battle with
Mhm.
Anna Gibson for that final spot on the podium, really like trading blows out
Yeah.
there. The ultimate, ultimately you finished in fourth, about just over 30 seconds back, I think, from Anna in the
30
end.
seconds.
Yeah.
Oh.
You're like, where can I get that back? But tell us a little bit, right? Because like
Yeah.
I saw you in these snapshot moments. I saw
Mhm.
you ahead of her. I saw you with her.
Mhm.
And then all of a sudden I saw you guys right at the end. So
Yeah.
what all happened out there?
Yeah. Well, from the start, I was like kind of off the front. I think I just had some adrenaline or something. And I very quickly got swallowed up by 10 plus women. And I was like, okay, that's fine. I just had to blow off my, steam a little bit. But then so once we started the really steep climb, I could kind of see her the whole time. Actually, I could see her the whole time, like once we got on the trail. So pretty much the entire race we were together, honestly. And then
That hot pink kit, it's
I
really easy to
know.
find
I
her
was
too.
telling Anna Cassius, I was like, "You guys are easy targets out there. I can spot you real." Anyways, yeah, I think it was cool because I talked to her after the race, and I was like, "You got the best out of me. Like, I was not allowed to rest at all. Like, you just kept me super honest, and thank you for that." And she was like, "Same." She said, "Every time I felt bad." You were feeling good and pushing the pace. So it was super fun. We were together pretty much the whole time. I made a move past her and Lauren Gregory on the climb, just kind of knowing that like that was probably going to be more of a strength of mine. Whereas those two have some really good leg speed, and I didn't want to be I have decent leg speed, but compared to
We
them,
saw you grind. Like we saw you switch. You ran all the way through the
yeah,
top of the Dragon's Back ascent.
yeah,
We saw Anna switch to a hike in there, and so like we watched that move take place, and then saw you
mhm,
again lower down, virtually
yeah,
together. So
yeah.
what did that feel like?
Yeah, well, I knew I had to put some time on her, like, if I was gonna hold that spot, and I was kinda hoping that I would be able to just hold it and she wouldn't catch me again, but she caught me right before McCoy, where I saw you again,
Mhm.
and then there was a steep downhill, and I feel like I just got these, like, monster truck legs that I can, like, go pretty hard
Nice.
on the descents.
That is a technical descent down that mountain bike trail.
There were a couple
Yeah.
technical spots where I feel like I excelled a little more.
Yeah.
And then pretty much the last mile and a half, last 2 miles where it flattens out,
Cruiser.
Anna just floated away like this trail running goddess that she is. And I just kept, huffing and puffing, trying to hold on to my fourth place spot, knowing that, Tabor and Lauren were not far behind. So it was really satisfying.
Yeah. Did Anna put a move in, or do you feel like it was just like this natural terrain change?
It was a move. I mean,
Yeah.
you should ask her when she comes on,
Oh,
but
we
it
will.
felt like a move. Like, I mean, I was trying to put moves on her too. So, yeah, I ran out of matches in my matchbook, and that feels good, to figure out how many you have.
Yeah, and it's so cool to be in that situation where you feel like you could strategically put in a move rather than you're just holding on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like that kind of dynamic shifted between you guys quite a bit.
Yeah. Yeah, it was great.
Yeah. I guess. Like, do you have something that you want to add to that? Okay. What I thought was really cool, and reflecting on that, like putting in moves back and forth, is that that's a theme with you. I feel like at least something that I've really gotten to witness a lot in the last year. CIM, getting to run with
Oh, yeah.
Peyton, Black Canyon, getting to have that duel with Becca,
Mhm.
Western States, getting to have like that last like the push with Leah. These
Oh
like
my goodness,
these
yeah.
like these friends and companions and colleagues and teammates of yours that you get to like really go to the well with.
Mhm.
And I think that a lot of us shy away from that or fear it a little bit, and you seem to really embrace it. And I'm kind of just curious how you've like developed that as your racing mindset.
Yeah, it's actually something that Tyler taught me. And actually something he taught his high school cross country kids about this idea of competition as collaboration, and like, seeing your competitors as collaborators in this quest to get the most out of yourself. And in the end, it doesn't really matter what place you're in. Like, yeah, you want to win, you want to be podium, whatever, but like what's most important is that you get the most out of yourself. And sometimes you win and you don't get the most out of yourself, and that's still not very satisfying. So I think just like knowing and feeling some peace with like the fact that you did the best you could, really truly, and I have Anna to thank for that.
Yay.
Yeah.
I was gonna say I'm gonna start tearing up in studio. I guess maybe at least final question on my end. Just had a great race here. I'm curious as to where we're gonna see you next, kind of closing out 2024 and then going towards 2025?
Yeah. So I'm actually right now signed up for both Ultra Trail Cape Town and JFK, which are the same weekend. I think JFK will be a little easier to train for with the hours that I have right now. So I'm leaning towards that. And then next year, looking towards Western States and hopefully CCC or possibly UTMB
Awesome.
if I can feel like I can get the training in for that. But that's the dream. The ultimate lifetime dream is to run UTMB.
Last question from me. What are your thoughts on Mammoth Lakes? And can we expect to see you here?
Well,
Full-time.
Rod kind of, we talked about this off camera, but I love it so much. I mean, it's just a beautiful place. And Tim Tollefson, the race director, sure knows how to throw a party. I will 1000% be back here next year, whether I'm racing or helping out or whatever. It's just a really, really beautiful place and a special community. And I feel super lucky to be here.
Well, thanks for joining us. Big round of applause for Rachael Drake, 4th place today.
Thanks, friends.
Thanks, Rachel. We're going to bring